What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to C-Roll Productions. You guys, we have some interesting topics to discuss in today's video. This is the big week, you guys, where we're going to be getting that big reveal from James Gunn and Peter Safran for what their next game plan is for the beloved DC characters. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Zachary Levi is under a huge fire right now due to some tweets about, some very interesting problematic, so to say. Some people would say that, he's had problematic tendencies over the course of his career going towards, Pfizer and like this whole, vaccine thing. It's crazy right now. If you guys go on Twitter and you check it out, it is just bonkers. A lot of people want to cancel. A lot of people are upset with him. And a lot of people are like, really? You do this right now, right before your movie? Like, you're gone, bro. It's crazy, you guys. But let's dive deep into some of these topics. Of course, we got to talk about the big topic at hand. We got to talk about today. James Gunn and Peter Safran are having a exclusive with the press interview for what their game plan is. And apparently it will be released tomorrow. So the press gets the exclusive first dibs. They get to write the articles, get everything ready for tomorrow's big, massive reveal. I'm excited. I can't wait. Dave Bautista came out today and said he's talked to James Gunn, and he said that he's going for a full reboot with younger and fresher faces. I mean, this is what you want to do. Like, I appreciate what came before, what James Gunn is going to do with the new DCU. I appreciate that with Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and all that. But I feel like, he realized and he understood that if this new DC Studios is going to thrive and we're going to have the continuity and the characters that DC fans love, we're going to have to start fresh. There's so much baggage over there with the Snyderverse. There's just so much toxicity going on with that. It's like, we gotta start from scratch, you guys. So I'm really curious to see what they have in store tomorrow and the announcements of that being Superman, Batman. I do think that they're going to integrate Matt Reeves' Batman, because I just find it stupid that they would have two separate Batmans and two different universes. You're shooting yourself in the foot at that point. Like, I mean, you can't do two separate Batman movies. And if James Gunn is going to have a completely new, refreshed, and rebooted DC series, you can't just not have a Batman. You need a Batman. Unless he decides, we're going to have a Batman, but we don't necessarily need to have Batman movies, because Matt Reeves is over there doing his thing, establishing Batman movies and spin-offs. But then it just gets convoluted, it gets stupid. And I do think that they will have a fresh Batman, of that being Matt Reeves, coming over into that new universe, which I'm completely happy, excited about. I love what Matt Reeves is doing over there. It's fantastic stuff, and it's cool with me. But it's going to be very interesting. And Dave Bautista was talking about, the potential of him becoming Bane and, this whole DC world. He just doesn't think it's going to happen. I mean, the physicality of the role, it's too much. I mean, look at him. Look what he did with Drax. If you look at Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, he was kind of, out of shape and chubby. It's just a lot of work. And I understand. I get Dave Bautista. At that age where he's 50-something years old, you don't want to continuously work out like that. It's just too much. And he's a much serious actor now. Dave Bautista is legit probably the best, the greatest on-screen wrestler actor of all time. Of all time. And the list is small. You have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You have John Cena. The list isn't so massive. You have Hulk Hogan. But Dave Bautista has really showcased his talent outside of the MCU, and he wants to be taken very serious. And I love and appreciate that he's taking the craft so serious. I'm like, step up your game, The Rock, because right now The Rock is number 3 for me. Dave Bautista, John Cena, then I give it to The Rock. Because The Rock is only used to one certain kind of role, you guys. And that's it. It's the big, buff, macho guy. That's the only thing he kind of, knows how to do. Like, The Rock should really step outside of his barriers and do something different as an actor. I would love to see him try to do something very different. And I think he could thrive, because The Rock was thriving before, the Fast movies. I loved him in The Rundown. I loved him in Walking Tall. Those were good movies. Those are the Rock films I love and embrace, you guys. But like I said, today's the exclusive meeting with the press. Tomorrow will be the big reveal. So get ready, you guys. It is about to be crazy. And also, this is new. Ryan Gosling is apparently rumored for Mr. Fantastic in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At this point, you guys, how many names are being thrown out there for, being rumored to play the role of Mr. Fantastic? I'm taking this with a grain of salt. I obviously wouldn't, Ryan Gosling as Mr. Fantastic, that's not the casting for me. Maybe Johnny Storm if they're going to go for an older route, an older version of Johnny Storm. But I doubt it. Like I said, I'm taking this with a grain of salt. I still want John Krasinski to come back and play, Reed Richards in the MCU's main timeline. I love whatever small screen time he had in, Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness was very effective. So I still would like to see him come back in some way. That's just if you're asking me. Tobey Maguire, you guys, is down to come back and play Spider-Man. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer. I mean, look at the love that he received for Spider-Man No Way Home. Being, Sony's biggest movie of all time. Massive billionaire film. It is just crazy. So I definitely think that, when the time comes, Tobey Maguire, he's already said he's down to come back. It's a yes. It's just in a matter of when and where. With Avengers Secret Wars coming out in the next couple of years, that's obviously a no-brainer from the rumors that we heard that it's going to be a culmination of, Marvel films. And you're going to see your Hugh Jackmans, you're going to see your earlier X-Men films, you're going to see returning cast, and, to see, Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman share the screen for the first time. That's, a childhood dream that, all of us wanted. So I definitely do think that they can go down that route. But even if Sony was like, we want to do a Spider-Man 4, we want to have Sam Raimi come back, but this will be a send-off to his character. And maybe that's how they can introduce a Miles Morales. You kill off Peter Parker in that universe, and you have Miles Morales in, this brand new universe. Because I do think that, Tom Holland Spider-Man's a little bit too young to introduce Miles Morales Spider-Man to him. You know what I mean? Because he's still a young Spider-Man. You want a seasoned Spider-Man at that point. Somebody who's kind of, down to step away and start a family with MJ. Something along those lines. So I definitely think that it would be a smarter idea. And you're dealing with the multiverse, so it could work. It could work. And I'll be down to see something like that. A nice send-off for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you guys. Oh my God, it would be so beautiful. So beautiful, you guys. But how exciting is that? Also, Eternals was the most streamed movie of 2022 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Eternals. Where was all that love? Why couldn't y'all go see it in theaters? It needed some love, but I get it. Eternals came out in 2021, November. The pandemic was still it was a real thing. It still is very real. People didn't feel comfortable. They'd rather wait at home for hit to Disney Plus or Vudu or, I understand it. So, Eternals doing big things, you guys. Will we get an Eternals 2? It's a possibility. I heard that there was rumors, there was talks, but I'm down. I'm definitely down to see Eternals 2. The Last of Us has been renewed for season 2. Yo, this show is absolutely fantastic. I haven't played the game. I'm just in shock about how well made this show is. It is extraordinary. I haven't seen episode 3 yet. It's only Monday. I was really tired yesterday, you guys, and I just wasn't in the mood because I was like, you know what? I just want to get some sleep. But me and my wife are going to watch episode 3 today, and we're excited. I heard this is definitely a banger of an episode, and I cannot wait for The Last of Us episode 3, you guys. How excited. I mean, it got renewed for season 2. It's doing massive, huge viewership numbers over at HBO Max. Super exciting. I'm happy for everybody involved with that. Finally, a video game adaptation thriving, doing big things, because over the course of the last couple of years, 20 years, so to say, video game adaptations just weren't that good. They were boring. They were bad. They were just not well adapted. And that's just the facts, you guys. It's really unfortunate, but I'm happy for this. Maybe, other studios can take notes. Oh, this is how we do it. We stick to the game. This is the Bible. The game is the Bible. Why wouldn't you want to stick to it? Yeah, you can tweak things, change things up, but that is your Bible. That's what the fans fell in love with. There's no need to change so much of it. I will never understand that. Will Smith, you guys, is set to return as the genie in Aladdin 2. That is very interesting. With the whole controversy of Will Smith and the Oscars, that seems such like a long time ago when he slapped Chris Rock. I will never forget that. I was watching it and I was just like, holy crap. But it kind of ruined his career in a little bit. You know what I mean? It derailed a couple of his projects. Bad Boys 3 and 4? No, Bad Boys 3 released, but like Bad Boys 4, I'm pretty sure that got pushed back. If the slap never happened, I'm pretty sure Bad Boys 4 would have been getting filmed. His Apple movie, Emancipation, I'm pretty sure it affected that film as well. He can't get invited to the Oscars. He wasn't nominated for his roles. But I do think it was definitely blown out of proportion. There are so many more other people in Hollywood who've done so much egregious things, way more. And it's just like crazy to me that, he gets so disciplined for that. And I don't condone violence at all. I don't. It was a joke. It was a poorly joke, and I understand, where Will was coming from and Jada. But ultimately, you guys, I do think that the consequences were a little bit too rough, a little bit too harsh on Will Smith. That's the way I feel. But like I said, it's coming back to play the genie, you guys. A lot of people have some thoughts about that. A lot of people do. Avatar 2 becomes the 4th highest grossing film of all time, passing Avengers Infinity War and Force Awakens. This is crazy. I don't think that it will get to the number 2 spot. I don't. It will probably, could it overlap Titanic? A possibility. But nowadays with movies being re-released, we're re-releasing it in 3D, XD, whatever, it could be a possibility. When Avatar 3 comes out, they could do a re-release of Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, with, better visual effects than what they did already, and then, that it made another $100 million at the box office. Oh, now it's overly grossing, Avengers Endgame taking the number 2 spot. I don't doubt that probably, will happen in the future. But, exciting news for James Cameron. He has 3 of the highest grossing films of all time now. That is just, he's 3. That's just crazy to me. That's just, it's insane. This guy is big box office, you guys. He's massive. He's large. And then the last topic I want to discuss was Stephen Dorff. You guys may remember him. He was in Blade as Deacon Frost. He had some very interesting things to say about Marvel Studios, you guys, and Black Adam as well. This is like kind of bonkers. He continues to really crap and shit on Marvel Studios or Marvel films or comic book movies, just in a general sense. I don't know why, because his career isn't what he thought it would be after Blade, because I can't tell you anything he's been in after Blade, honestly. He's not that big action star. He's not that big movie star. But he's had some words to say, especially with Black Widow a couple years ago, how he said he felt bad for Scarlett Johansson, because of that film. And I was just like, you haven't even seen it. How are you going to judge a movie if you haven't even seen it? You're just judging it off a couple of trailers. Like, calm down, my guy. But I really wanted to, dive deep into this article. And this is what he said. So, I still hunt out the good shit because I don't want to be in Black Widow, the True Detective actor told the newspaper. It looks garbage to me. It looks like a bad video game. I'm embarrassed for those people. I'm embarrassed for Scarlett. Whew. That's what he had to say about Black Widow. That's pretty harsh. And then this is recent, you guys. This is recent. All this other garbage is just embarrassing. You know what I mean? Dorff continued. I mean, God bless them. They're making a bunch of money, but their movie sucks. And he laughs. Nobody's going to remember. Nobody's going to remember that. Nobody's going to remember Black Adam at the end of the day. I didn't even see that movie, and it looked so bad. Now, granted, Black Adam wasn't good, but at least go see it before you judge it. Come on now. Like, don't be a dickhead. Don't be that guy. It's really, really messed up. And this is what he had to say about Blade as well, the up-and-coming Blade film, featuring Mahershala Ali, Academy Award-winning Mahershala Ali, you guys. This is very interesting. Marvel is currently developing a new take on Blade for its Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's not all has gone according to plan. Mahershala Ali is attached to the role, but the original director, Bassam Turk, exited the film 2 months before the intended production start date, which was massive. Everybody was like, holy crap. And this is what he had to say. Marvel is used to me trashing them anyway, Dorff said. How's that PG Blade movie going for you? That you can't get a director? Laughs. Because anybody who's gone there is going to be laughed at by everyone because we already did it and made it the best. There's no Steve Norrington out there, which was the original director of that film. Like I said, you guys, he just has so much resentment. I feel like it could be a jealousy thing that, I don't know what it is, but this guy is just, it's ridiculous at this point. Look, yeah, we all know Blade was great. Blade is still a top 10 Marvel movie. Blade saved Marvel as a whole from going bankrupt. Blade is a phenomenal film. Wesley Snipes absolutely killed it. And there's no doubt that I don't think Mahershala Ali would kill it. But the pressure is on. the pressure is there. I mean, this film being PG-13, that's a huge, huge thing. I mean, can you really deliver a Blade film in that rating? Who knows? I don't know. Hellboy, the original Hellboys were PG-13 and they did fairly good. But Blade is a very different character. The R rating works for Blade. I mean, Hellboy had its R rating in 2019, I believe. You guys remember that reboot, and it didn't work to its benefit. Now, granted, the script was terrible, but, you know, overall, I feel like if you're going to do a Blade film, you got to do it R rated. You got to do it R rated, and Marvel has to step outside of their little sandbox and do R rated stuff. You have to. You have to. I'm sorry. You can't. I mean, Deadpool 3 is going to be R rated. Why can't Blade be R rated? Step outside, do something different. I know there's a lot of talk right now about comic book movie fatigue and all that shit and how people feel about that. You know, I want to see something different. You know, I'm not the same age when I saw the first Avengers movie. My taste and love for Marvel has grown a little bit. So I do want to see certain things. I do want to see certain things changed up. You know what I mean? The recipes worked. I understand. I get it. But let's make some more R-rated films. I mean, Joker was R-rated. Did phenomenal at the box office. $1 billion movie. Why can't, you know, Marvel movies be R-rated? Deadpool 3 is going to make a lot of money with Wolverine and Hugh Jackman. It's time we start, you know, really diving deep into the world and the pool of these different genres and different tones and different feels. And they've done some of it in Phase 4 with like Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, adding the horror. So it could work, you guys. It could work. And Werewolf by Night was PG-13 and it worked really well. So maybe Blade could work, but preferably, I would want it to be R-rated. That's just me, you guys. But there you guys have it. That's today's video. That's the topics. Let me know what you guys think. Post your comments down below. How hyped are you guys for the announcement tomorrow for DC? I will be covering that tomorrow, so please stay tuned. It's going to be a lot to talk about. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.